Yo, 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 what is going on, guys? It is your boy Scumpy here today, bringing you a video log. We're going to be talking about what I've been doing for the past week or so. We were actually in Los Angeles, not technically in Los Angeles, but we were in California for the past 6 days. And let me tell you, that was hard to be away from home for that long. This is a post-event vlog, though. I wouldn't call it an event. I'd call it a qualifier. Qualifier is definitely the more proper word. We were actually qualifying for the Call of Duty World League this weekend, and we had to go out there a couple of days early to do some production stuff, get headshots taken, do some B-roll for the footage and production that you guys probably did see on stream, and a bunch of stuff like that. So we had to fly out there Wednesday of last week. We usually fly out to events on Thursday unless it is a international event, in which case we would leave on a Wednesday. I'm also sorry I didn't upload the past 2 days. It gets a little bit hard sometimes when we're out there and we're doing stuff. And if I don't make videos beforehand, it gets pretty tough to make vlogs because I have to edit them on my laptop and then I want to hang out with my friends. And it's very hard because it's a hard, balance to find whenever you're actually on the road and not at your actual house, at your actual setup. So I do apologize, but daily uploads will resume today and going onward as well. So let's talk a little bit about the event. We'll get into the specific matches in a bit. We only played 2 matches, so there's not really much to go over gameplay wise. I mean, we played really, really well. I'm happy with the team. We only lost 1 map the whole 2 matches, so we went 6-1 map count, but I want to talk more about the event, what it was like, because this was the first time that we've been to a Activision, qualifier. This was the first time. We've been to Champs, and that's usually the only tournament every year that Activision actually runs and hosts. So Champs every year, but this was an actual, Activision event. So first, let me start with, it was amazing. There was catering, there was food all of the time. Very, very strict scheduling, and I don't say strict in a bad way. I say strict in a very professional way, whereas you know when you're going to play. You know when you can expect to be doing things. They always keep you on, on time. They're always, nagging you, not in a bad way again, but they're keeping you on time. How things should be, basically. I mean, all the matches were pretty much on time throughout the whole weekend. I think one of our matches was about 30 minutes late, but sometimes that's hard to control. There's not much they can do, but the way they ran things was insane. It was absolutely incredible. They had a studio out there that we were actually playing in. It was much like the MLG studio, but a little bit more, I'd say, amped up. It wasn't amped up in a sense that it was bigger, but it was the amount of good stuff production-wise inside that small little room that we were playing. Because it was a small room, however, but they did make it look incredible. Like I was saying, though, just the sheer atmosphere of the event and the place and where we were at. I mean, in the hotel, even, they had 64 stations, I think. It probably wasn't 64. They probably had like 32 PlayStations, monitors, internet connection. Like, you could literally go there and play pubs. Like, that's how legit it was. They had internet connection to every PS4. A bunch of the players were playing pubs from that room. Unfortunately, I couldn't because my PS4 login information is actually pretty messed up right now. It goes to a different gamer tag, which I have no idea how to fix. If you guys know how to fix that, please let me know. But it was very, very legit, guys. Like, it was an insane setup, and I am very happy and pleased with the direction that Call of Duty looks like it's taking just from that first event, because that technically is like the first event of the year. I mean, Tostino's, yeah, that was a tournament, but this was like the first major event for Call of Duty Black Ops 3. So I could probably go through here, summarize it real quick for you guys. It was an incredible event. They did a very good job. I'm very happy with the way that it looked. Like I said, Call of Duty, it's not really known for being, that professional esport like CS or League of Legends where they have insane graphics and the stream looks nice all the time and it's always on time and there's never delays and you're always in tune with what's going on at the tournament, and that's how I felt this went. So enough about that, though. I'm pleased, very happy. That's about it. Now, let's talk about the stuff that you guys really want to hear, I would assume. We're going to talk about our 2 matches that we played to qualify for the event. We played Orbit in our first match, and then we played Apotheon in our second match. So to give you guys sort of a rundown of how the structure of the event worked, it was pool play. So imagine pool play. There's 4 teams in each pool. 4 teams in each pool. 2 of them make it out. 2 of them do not qualify at the event. So the way that you qualify, if you win 2 matches, you're through. It doesn't matter if you win 2 in a row. You could win 1, lose 1, win 1. You could lose the first one, win 2. It didn't matter how you won 2 matches, But if you won 2 matches, you went through. So this is how it worked. It was sort of like the Jewel system. So we played Orbit. The winner of that played the winner of the other match because there were 4 teams total. So you play the winner of the other match. The winner of that match moves on. If you lost the first match, you play the loser of the other side. If you win that, you stay in, and then you play the loser of the other match, and then whoever wins that goes through. That was the qualifying match. Okay, so I tried to set that up a little bit better for you guys. I actually put it right here on my computer. Maybe this will make a little bit more sense. So basically this match right here was our first match. We won that against Orbit. Apotheon E6 was the other match. Apotheon won. Then us 2 play. This was our second match. Us versus Apotheon. We won that, so then we were qualified. Optic is qualified over here. Then this drops down. E6 had to play Orbit because they were the both teams that lost. Orbit ended up winning that, so then Apotheon had to play Orbit, and that was the qualifying match, and Apotheon won that. So it was us and Apotheon that ended up qualifying from our group. Hopefully that made more sense. Alright though, so let me talk a little bit about our matches. Our first match against Orbit, we played very early in the morning. It was around 10 a.m. I know you guys are probably like, very early in the morning? What? I'm probably like waking up for school at that time. For me, that is very, very early in the morning. Now, granted, it was 2 hours later, so technically if it was noon here in Chicago, it would only be 10 a.m. there. So it was a little bit weird with the scheduling and the time difference, but it was pretty early for me, to be completely honest with you. I'm not going to sit here and lie to you guys. It was pretty early. So we're playing against Orbit. We 3-0'd them. It wasn't an easy 3-0, though. Like, whenever you see a 3-0 in Call of Duty, your first thought is probably, oh my gosh, the other team got absolutely destroyed. No, it wasn't like that at all, actually. The first hard point was very close. We had around a 100-point lead, and then they started coming back, and I was like, what is going on? We just started getting pummeled. Like, literally, we started to not get kills, and they were getting kills, and they started to make their comeback, and they almost beat us on first map. Now, imagine if we lose that first map in a parallel universe somewhere far away, but we lose that first map, things could have been completely different. The series could have completely spun on its head. That would have forced us to play CTF. We're not the best CTF team, so what if we lose CTF there, we go last map, or beats us last map? Like, it could have been absolutely crazy. Thankfully, that didn't happen. So we win first map by about 9 points, even though we had a 100-point lead. Second map, we beat them 6-2. It wasn't too tough. Our S&D was actually pretty good this weekend for the most part. Never mind, our S&D actually sucked this weekend. Never mind, completely disregard that. But that's when I got my 1v4. I'm still deciding whether or not to put that on my channel. But I got my 1v4 in the first round of that, and then from that point on, it was pretty much just domination. I mean, we won like 4 rounds in a row, and then they started to come back, and then we just closed the game out. So we go up 2-0 there. And then the last map was evac uplink, I believe, and that is one of our better uplinks. We ended up going down 0-4 on bad side, and then we won like 18-4 after we had our good side. So that was the first match. Pretty easy, not too much trouble there except for the first hard point. And it's weird because I want to talk about this a little bit. So we thought E6 was the other good team in our pool. It was Censor, Apathy, Dito, and Saints. We thought that was going to be the team that we had to play in our second match. So we thought we were going to beat Orbit. We thought that E6 was going to beat Apotheon, and then we were going to end up playing E6 to end up qualifying. That didn't happen at all. E6 got double first rounded. They actually lost immediately. They lost to Apotheon, then they played Orbit, and they also lost to them. The reason I say that is it's just because it's funny how Call of Duty works sometimes. You think you're going to play this team in the finals, and then they end up losing to a team that you didn't think was going to beat them, but then in the end it's like, well, we still have to beat this team anyway. And then you go ahead, you handle business, and you do what you got to do. So that was a little bit weird for me. E6 didn't have the best weekend, but I know that they're still a really good team. Moving on, though, our next match was against Apotheon. Now, Apotheon was the team that beat E6, so we weren't underestimating them at all. I know a lot of their players very, very well. And I knew that this was going to be a good team. I knew this was going to be a good match. So, first map, we play Fringe Hardpoint. Didn't have too many troubles there. Fringe Hardpoint's one of our better hardpoint maps, so we sort of just cleaned them up. I had like 3 minutes in Hill. Formal and Crim had like 40 bombs each, and it was just a very smooth map. You know, how we expected it to go. We expected to win the hardpoint first map. So we win hardpoint. Next, we play SND on Breach. If you guys remember SND Breach, that's actually the map that we lost to Rise on map 5 at Tostino's. So that was in the back of our heads. We didn't play very well on that map. We sort of got whitewashed. It was, I think, 6-2. So we didn't really play that map very well. We just got beat on it. And that was a good S&D team, so you can't really give us too much flack for that. but we did end up losing it 6-2. So it's 1-1 at this point. Next we have Uplink, and then we have CTF next. So at this point we're like, oh, we got to play CTF because we're not the best CTF team in the game yet. We're still working on a couple things, still trying to perfect how we play that game type. So the Uplink, I believe we won in overtime. It was a very close match. We played on Infection. It went into overtime. We scored in around 40 seconds, and then we just held them off. All they needed was a throw, but we went clutch on the first set of kills. So we ended up winning that Uplink. And again, you know, those little key moments in those matches, if that goes a little bit differently, things could have been completely spun on their head, and it could have been a very weird series, because then we would have had to play map 5, and they beat us in the first SND, so chances are we're probably not going to win the next SND. But so we win the Uplink, very close. Go into the CTF, our worst CTF map, which is evac, and we haven't really played it much. We haven't practiced it. We don't know really how to play it. I mean, we know how to play it, but we don't know the master way to, we haven't mastered the map yet. So we're playing evac. We got first cap, which was very good. I ended up getting streaks. They actually were about to counter cap and tie the game up. I streaked them. Krim made a good call. He said, use both of your streaks. I did. If I wouldn't have done that, if he wouldn't have called that, then I would have used the lightning strike and they would have got the cap, because my last lightning strike canister like barely missed him, or bomb, whatever you want to call it. Barely missed the flag guy, but my Hellstorm ended up getting him. We ended up counter capping, going up 2-0, and then from that point on it was pretty much smooth sailing. I think I got like 2 Cerberuses on that map, so I was just camping my ass off, having a great time, just getting free kills with people running at me. But those were basically our 2 matches. Not too many problems in either of them. A couple of close maps, but nonetheless we went there. We did what we needed to do, and I'm happy with the results. So now we get to come back. We still don't know when the first tournament is. They haven't announced it. I'm assuming it's going to be like a UMG or MLG or something like that, but nobody has announced anything yet, so I'm not sure. But thank you guys so much for watching today's video. That's going to be it for me. I hope you guys did enjoy it. If you did, drop a like, favorite, comment, and subscribe. It will really help out my channel. Thank you guys once again, and as always, this was your boy Optic Scump. Fire.